All right, we got a lot of hockey tonight, and I made sure that I got all of the games on the board here. So, with all the playoff implications being as they are, let's go ahead and see if I pick everything the opposite of the way things work out. Columbus last night got handled by the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'll get into the Maple Leafs in my next video. Um, I think Washington wins this one because Washington wants that President's Trophy. I'm not sure why, because the bloody thing's a curse, but I think they want it. Arizona's in Florida. Arizona's coming off a win. Arizona almost doesn't win two in a row. Tampa Bay's in Boston. I'm done betting on Boston. Carolina's in Montreal. Again, Montreal wants that division. They can hear the tiptoes behind them. New Jersey's in Toronto. This is one of those games that's a trap game. Toronto's coming off a big emotional road win and coming home the next night. Um, I could totally see Jersey pulling off an upset there. Dallas is in Chicago. Yeah, right. And I did that with Chicago against Vancouver the other night, and Chicago lost to Vancouver. So if you want to make money in Vegas, just look where the red dashes are and bet with the other teams. Winnipeg's in LA in a matchup of the disappointments. I'll take Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg at this point is bound and determined to finish as one of the better teams that misses the playoffs. So I could see them beating LA. Edmonton's in Colorado. I think Edmonton is going to look to rebound from a loss to Anaheim. They have to. And Colorado's the perfect team to do it against. Vancouver and St. Louis. I can't see Vancouver beating St. Louis. Philadelphia is in Minnesota. And if that is actually what happens, St. Louis pretty much clinches tonight. Philly's in Minnesota. Minnesota, I think, is going to get on a bit of a run here. Calgary's in Nashville. Calgary, I think, comes back and wins after a loss in Washington. And Pittsburgh and Ottawa. I think Pittsburgh's the better team. We'll wait and see what happens tonight. But there's my picks. And it's an interesting bunch for sure. In terms of the games I'll be watching, of course I'll be watching nervously as Tampa Bay plays Boston because I predicted Tampa Bay would make the playoffs. I didn't predict they'd knock the Bruins out to do it. That could be what I'm looking at here. At the very least, Tampa could enable the Islanders to move into that playoff spot. Should Boston fail tonight, the pressure is squarely on the Bruins right now, and they only have themselves to blame. You could say, "Oh well, what about the referees?" I don't want to hear about referees. I don't use referees as an excuse when my team loses. If your team loses a game by one goal and the referees made that decision, okay, fine. The fact is, if your team was meant to win, they would have been winning at the time. Um, that referees can make that decision means that your team probably wasn't playing their best or just didn't deserve the win. Columbus and Washington should be a fun game to watch tonight. That's a division rivalry. Uh, Honestly, Dallas and Chicago will probably be fun to watch. Dallas is very loose right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's a high-scoring game. And based on the way Chicago played against Vancouver, their defense being what it is, yeah, Dallas might peg away and get a bunch of goals. Um, Anytime Edmonton plays is normally entertaining. Anytime Toronto plays is normally entertaining. Minnesota as well. Pittsburgh, Ottawa, that's going to be a good. Yeah. The only games I'm not really interested in Carolina and Montreal, I'm not really interested. Winnipeg and LA, Vancouver and St. Louis, Calgary and Nashville. And it's weird. And Arizona and Florida. It's weird because people are going to say, well, isn't Vancouver your favorite team? Yep. And they're out of the playoffs. And for me, the interesting thing with Vancouver is not playoffs, it's that Goldobin's going to be playing his fourth game tonight. The problem is Willie Desjardins hasn't been playing him in top minutes. So in terms of being able to see what Nikolai Goldobin can actually do, Vancouver fans haven't seen it yet. And that's not a slam on Desjardins. It's not unusual to see rookies playing managed minutes. The problem is when your team's already out of the playoffs, way out of the playoffs, and you want to see how these rookies can do, and their minutes are still being managed as if the games are really important, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. So here's my challenge to you. Let me know what games you're watching tonight. Let me know who you think's gonna pull one out. And this is power rankings day. So let me know who you think's gonna be number one, because I don't know. I haven't looked it over yet. I don't plan this from week to week. I don't look at previous power rankings. Let me know who you think right now in terms of momentum and in terms of being the strongest. Who you think's number one in the league? It is a tough call. There are a number of teams you could pick, a number of reasons you could pick them. Just let me know who you got. As for I've decided I'm going to look for some kind of an easel for this, but I'm not sure what kind. And not only that, but there is a whole thing that came with this that you could mount it on the wall. It's just a matter of where. So Yvonne and I have agreed to sort of revamp the bedroom over the weekend so that there's sort of a space for this to get done and done well, which may include hanging this on the wall at the end of the weekend, but we'll see. There's limited space and a lot of stuff. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, and just let me know who you got, because to me, there's a lot of fun to be had here. Playoff ramifications all over, even if like, okay, in Montreal, Carolina's case, Carolina's not in the playoffs, but Carolina's got 75 points. Carolina's playing for pride. If Carolina can look at the end of the year and say, well, we were ninth in the East, they have something to build on. And I've said Carolina is going to be the team to watch next year in the East. I believe that. And in the West, I think it'll be Winnipeg. If Winnipeg can fix the goaltending issues they've had and shore up their blue line just a little bit, it's not a lot of problems on the blue line, but they've got to fix a couple of spots there. Winnipeg can be right in the running next year. I think the West is wide open. Although adding Vegas and Vegas being in the Pacific Division may bump up Pacific Division team totals, depending on who's playing in Vegas. This expansion team is supposed to be better than old expansion teams. All the other expansion teams put together, basically, the way they're hyping it. If they're that good, then it won't prop up the point totals of Pacific Division teams, but it could. And if Vegas is the worst team in the league and Pacific Division teams are getting both wild cards, we'll be having an argument next year. But for now, let's argue over this, shall we? Let me know what you think. And once again, thanks for watching, and I'll be back to talk to you all soon. And for anybody wondering, yeah, this is a Seattle Mariners jersey and a San Diego Chargers hat, because reasons. Actually, it's just really nice and warm out today, so I figured I'll wear a short sleeve jersey, which is baseball, because I don't have any hockey jerseys with baseball themes, although they do have them on the American Lids website, which is weird, because they charge a lot of money for them. So, yeah, really strange to me when you're selling something at like almost a jersey price, and it's not really an official jersey, but you're selling it as if it is, because the NHL said you can. Weird. All right, that's it for me. I will talk to y'all again really soon. I have to talk about the Pollock incident and why I didn't do a video last night regarding the hit.